guys, so I'm here with the Inside and Out book tag, which is created by Mathombooks. Pretty genius. It's an acronym, so each of the letters in Inside and Out have a question. And I was also tagged by the lovely Heather over at Heather's Book Review. So let's get on with it. Generally, I find that it's enough information. It's kind of the right amount. In most cases, it's enough to give me a hint into what the book's kind of about, but there are the cases where I find that it's just a couple of sentences and I have essentially no idea what it's about. I maybe know who the main character is, or at least the name, and I don't even know what kind of genre it is. But I do also come across the cases where there is just way too much information and it seems like I know the entire story right off the bat. I mean, I generally don't really look at the backs of books. I mean, sometimes I do when I'm in store, but generally I go into the store with a book in mind. I sometimes go on Goodreads to kind of see what it's about, and that's pretty good indication. And in a lot of cases I gather what a book is about due to book recommendations and someone kind of summing up what the book is about in their own words and not giving too much away. With this one, it's generally either paperback or hardback, mainly because I get really distracted with audiobooks and I don't pay attention half the time, and I don't actually have an ebook reader. And then within paperback and hardback, it's kind of equal. I mean, paperbacks are kind of easier to read and they're less chunky, but I generally like books that I really, really like in hardcover. And essentially, I want to read books that I will really enjoy. So hopefully, I'd have more hardcovers on my shelf. See the logic in that? Because they just look nicer on the shelf, and I mean, you can take the dust jacket off and protect that while you're reading it, then put it back on, then just, you know, put it on your shelf and it looks nice and clean, and, you know, it doesn't have the, you know, cracks down the spine, which is kind of another reason why I don't like paperbacks. I don't like having cracks in the spine. I mean, with some books, for example, Game of Thrones, I basically read it like this the entire time so it wouldn't crack the spine, which is kind of a pain in the ass, but you know, there is no crack, not a single crack. Ramble, ramble, ramble. So I'd probably say hardcover. For books that I'm reading for pure enjoyment, I like them absolutely clean. I like to leave them in the best condition possible. Sometimes if I'm going to review that book, I will, you know, write in a post-it note and stick it in if I've come across an interesting point or something I really want to talk about, but generally I'll leave them clean. However, there is an exception for books that I'm reading for school. Lots of post-it notes, lots of writing in them as well. See, I've got like extra post-it notes on the inside, I've got lots of writing around in the margins and everything, but I do generally write in pencil when I'm writing in books, because I don't like completely ruining them permanently. I should have come prepared for this one. Okay, here we go. This is gonna take a while. I was gonna do the book thief, but then that would kind of be cheating because I'd say like 5 sentences because it's really cool. Hold on, I'll do both. I'm totally cheating here. So this one is like the first paragraph. First, the colours, then the humans. That's usually how I see things, or at least how I try. Here's a small fact. You are going to die. Dude, I like that whole little opening paragraph because it's just really mysterious. Like, what are these colours that this main character sees? And then, bam, you're going to die. But this is probably a more legit one. From Uglies by Scott Westerfeld. The early summer sky was the colour of cat vomit. Isn't that just beautiful? It's kind of weird. It's a weird sentence. I mean, who thinks of that? Oh, it's so beautiful. It's the colour of cat vomit. I don't usually see things like that, but I mean, you know, whatever. Hell no. I don't take into consideration the gender of an author at all. At all. Half the time I don't even know if they're male or female, but I'm just like, so, it's a book. That's not a point of consideration when I'm thinking of reading a book. At all. Never has been. Sometimes accidentally, like I don't do this on purpose, my eye just kind of wanders across to the next page, kind of looks to see if there's anything interesting. Like, I don't like doing it. I usually find myself like covering the opposite page or the paragraphs below because it's so intense that my eye, like, I will subconsciously read ahead and skip to see what is actually going to happen. And also, a few years ago, I had this really terrible habit of reading the last paragraph of the book before I started reading the book. really hurt. I hit my nose. I remember reading the last paragraph of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban before I started reading it, like the beginning. Like, it's not something I wouldn't go into a bookstore and like read the last paragraph and see if I'd like it. I'd have the book, read the last paragraph, then I'd start at the beginning. I don't know why. I really don't know why I did it. It was a horrible habit. Like, I couldn't actually stop myself from doing it. I had to force myself to stop it, and then I am now completely out of the habit of it. Never gonna do it again. Definitely organised. Now, the floor of my bedroom may not be the prettiest thing you've ever seen, but everything else in my room is pretty damn organised. I like things in order. I don't like things completely messy, but, you know, my clothes, they're just chilling. It's really weird. So with my bookshelf, I mean, I've got like 4 or 5 different, you know, methods of organisation kind of going on, which is kind of weird, but yeah, I generally like things to be really organised. There's a lot going on, and it changes all the time. I'm really quite paranoid about having a pretty looking shelf. Most likely, yeah. I'm assuming I have. I bought Nightshade by Andrea Kramer purely based on the cover. I had absolutely no idea what it was about when I bought it. I'm just like, you know what, that is a beautiful, beautiful cover. And I got it. I hate the fact that they didn't, you know, continue with this style of book cover. They completely changed it. Ugh. Definitely stay in. I like to, you know, snuggle up while I'm reading my books, keep myself nice and cozy in a nice blanket propped up with a bunch of pillows, and eventually slide down until I'm lying, and then I like fall asleep. Generally, I do read just before I go to bed because I've got too much other stuff going on. But I don't really like reading outside. I mean, it's generally too cold or too windy, or the sun is too bright and shining my eyes and I can't look at the page because it reflects back and it just blinds me completely. There's also too many distractions outside, like there's noises, and I like being really in a quiet place when I'm reading. Another reason why it's at night, because everyone else is usually asleep or going to sleep. That is all of the questions from the Inside and Out tag. I tag Michelle from Sweet Book Reviews, and of course if anyone else wants to do it, go ahead. The questions, as always, are down below in my pants. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Bye!